My goal was to become a New York City cop.
Okay.
At the time, they weren't hiring, like I said. So first I got hired as a correctional officer upstate New York, Greenhaven State Prison. We were kind of the trendsetter. We became two-day wonders. We were the only ones in the history of correction. They were so short. They sent us to training for 2 days, and as I said, fed us to the wolves. So I did that for about a year. I was engaged to my wife, now wife Jill. I got called by City Correction. It was more money, closer to home, so I took that transfer.
Okay, so wait a minute. So let's talk about the 2-day wonder thing. Tell me about, you get 2 days worth of training, which is essentially nothing. You're in there, if I'm not mistaken, you're in there with basically murderers, killers. I mean, bad dudes in this.
Greenhaven was one of the worst jails in America at the time. It was a max A. I think there was 1,900 prisoners at the time, and I think more than half were doing double life sentences. Funny story, I'll never forget, it was a Monday morning, and they march us in. When I say us, we're being marched in by what they call the CERT team, with these orange jumpsuits, bats, hats, everything. And we're going 2 by 2. And I was pretty big. I was about 275 then. And, I'm 6'5". I'm a big guy, compared to most guys that were working. So we're being marched in. I'll never forget, I had this girl named Donna Pappas next to me. She was a really pretty girl. And the inmates are yelling like all of these vulgar things you can't imagine. She turns around, she goes, "Are they saying that to me?" I saw her, sure as hell ain't saying it to me. So we went on. And then I started saying to myself, what am I doing here? It was like a scene from a James Cagney movie. You have, mattresses burning, noises, they're all locked up. You see these, CERT teams, which is the equivalent of their SWAT teams, marching around. I'm like, I started second guessing, like, what am I doing here? Never forget, we go into one of the cell blocks, we go up the stairs, and there's my buddy Carl. Carl's short, stocky, strong as an ox, had his cigarettes rolled up like Fonzie, in the sleeve, and he's sitting there, and he's packing up an inmate, rolling them up. When I say packing them up, they put everything in a mattress, boom. My nickname was Stitch at the time. That was my father's nickname. All my friends used to call me that. And I'm walking up there, and he turns around, he looks at me, he says, "Stitch, what's up?" I said, from that moment on, I said, this is going to be fun. And it was really, that working there was an unbelievable experience because you're with all the inmates. They were all doing double life, murderers, rapists, robbers, drug dealers. Remember, that was during the Rockefeller drug era when he had, the Rockefeller laws. You had bad people in there. And that really helped me with my career furtherance down the road, especially when I came to customs.
Why was that, do you think?
Well, you're dealing with inmates. You know who they are. They are criminals. You learn the lingo. You learn body language, and I learned one thing. If their lips are moving, they're lying. So it really helped me,
How old were you when you started that job?
25.
Were you scared?
I said I was a little concerned, because you're with bad people. I mean, you're with people that have nothing to lose. The only good thing is that they know that was their home. I worked with some really good officers, and I worked with some that were pretty shady.
But you get 2 days worth of training. What kind of training are they giving you?
Nothing, really. I mean, basically nothing. What I think really that was great training being there because you're firsthand and you can't be taught that anywhere. I don't care what academy you go to, especially in jail. You're right there. So that's where I tell everybody. They ask me what kind of weapon. Matter of fact, I asked somebody, what kind of weapons you carrying here? Guy says rosary beads. I said, that's going to be really tough when you're a Jew, And your best weapon is your brain. Your best weapon because you learn to deal with people by using your brain. And I really, in the year I was there, I never had any problems for the most part.
What about the next correctional facility?
That's another story.